Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. We had another lesson today in, you know, engineering and I don't know if it's planned failure or just an oversight or just, throw it together, it'll be alright. What we got is a 3800 Buick, which is one of the best engines ever built. That being said, they have their issues. And I'll show you this one. Here's where the intake goes on. These are coolant ports right here that go up into the throttle body and supposed to warm the air or whatever coming into the motor. This here is exhaust from the EGR valve, and it's got a little pipe that puts it up here, blows up into the intake. Issue: the intake is plastic. Exhaust through plastic. Who would think? What happens? This is the new one. Of course, you got your exhaust coming up through this hole. You got your water ports right here. That exhaust gets this hot and it warps the plastic. And these things start leaking, and they leak to the outside usually. On occasion, they leak to the inside. You never see it. I have pulled off the little screen on the front of the throttle body there and looked in here and seen water squirting up out of these ports and getting sucked into the motor. Matter of fact, one of my best customers there at the home shop, first job he brought in was a car with one of these motors, and he was told the head gaskets were blown because it was blowing white smoke. Losing antifreeze. Blown head gaskets. And I said, well, there's no outside visible leak that I can see, and it's blowing white smoke, so that's probably going to be what it is, but let's check it out. And I had the pressure on it, but knowing what I know, I pulled this little screen out of his throttle body and looked in there and just squirting right up in there, making it appear like a head gasket. He got off fairly cheap. This intake is not cheap, but it's less than a head gasket, and he had already put a motor or two motors into this car for very similar reasons. So he was very impressed, and to my knowledge, that car's still driving around. He owned it for 2-3 more years, and then he traded it to me for some work on a truck so they could use to chore with, and I sold it to a teenager for their first car, and they drove it around and beat it up, and then it got sold again. So I mean, it's been around, and like I say, my knowledge, it's still going. Same motor. But I just wanted to pop on here and show you that it's something that gets misdiagnosed a lot. Now, if you do your block test like you're supposed to on these things, it won't show up. You won't have your, fluid turning colors because there's no combustion gas getting into the cooling system. It is antifreeze getting into the combustion chamber because of a melted and warped plastic intake, because they put exhaust in. What they do to solve that is the new intake comes with these little doodads right here that are smaller around than the other ones. It gives it more room. When it goes up in there, it's not as big. So since it's not as close, it doesn't get as hot. fixed. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.